You can feel there's a real urban sort of community here that's very tight-knit, and there's a whole nother city popping up on the backs of people's garages here, yeah?
Everyone's starting to build these bed sits or these studios above the garages. So it's going from a single use to a multi-use.
So what makes this so different to everything else? I mean, what have you done differently?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jamie. We've actually just put in a windowsill. So that gives the person in there some privacy.
Right.
They can talk to me, they can see me, I can see them, and we can have a conversation.
Right.
That idea of the arras at either end was to aid that idea of looking up and down the lane.
Oh, I see. Again, your connection to the community.
The connection to the street.
I love the community, but they won't stop hammering. Can we get upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. What sort of timber is this?
This is hoop pine.
Isn't it gorgeous?
We wanted to have a living, kitchen, dining,
Right.
and then behind these doors, you have the private rooms away from the street.
There's more. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Here's the bed nook, 4 drawers underneath, and then behind here, we've got the bathroom.
So how many square metres is this?
21 square metres.
It's incredible. And you've got privacy.
That's right. I can take my pants off and still have a good...
I don't want to hear about that, Pete, right now, but I think what is good is that you're visually connecting with the neighbourhood and not exposing with the neighbourhood. I don't think I've ever seen this much clever use of a tight amount of space. I mean, 21 square metres. It's not just, you know, how much you got in here, it's the placement of the rooms and the space making.
Yeah, well, 21 square metres is a generous space for a boarding house. So in a way, we looked at this as a prototypical space,
Yes.
how you would organise a space in a boarding house.
Yes.
That's why we put the private rooms at the back.
Yes.
And the public rooms to the street. As the city becomes denser, things like privacy and street relationships become really important.
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely want to continue listening to that hammering up. I would really miss that, I think. I think I'd really miss it.
The city's been built around us as we speak.
No, but it's good. It's about growth. It's about energy. I love it. And I love what you've done here. You've come out punching with some very big ideas in a small space. You've allowed the maximum light to come in, but also you've allowed the heat to escape in a very beautiful solar passive way, because the heat comes up, hits the roof, slides out that way, and then, of course, you've got this cross ventilation coming from this southern window over here to the eastern window.
Yeah, philosophically, we're really anti-air conditioning, and with a space like this, we see that there's no reason why you can't make this work convectively, and it works exactly as you've said. The high windows take the hot air out, and the cooler air is coming in from the windowsills over the street.
Yeah. Have you invited council over here?
We did. 4 of them came over, 4 planners and urban designers.
Did they?
Yeah, and they came and
they had a little tea party here.
Well, they said they're looking at the controls. You know, we've
That's
been
good.
saying, you know, maybe it's good to have a windowsill. Maybe the glass shouldn't go down to the floor.
Of course not.
And maybe you could minimise overshadowing to the neighbour. And maybe you can build boundary to boundary without upsetting the neighbour.
Yes. It's a bit of a template for what could be beyond.
We've given our plans to a couple of neighbours.
That's great.
As a type, I think it's easily replicated.
Yeah. Well, I think that's super generous of you, and I think it's a great example of urban expansion in a very elegant way. Well, with the intensity and density of our urban areas continuing to increase, I think what Peter and his team have created here is a wonderful case study of what could be our future urban environment. And he's done it with exquisite detailing. I don't think I've seen a better use of 21 square metres in my time. And what's great about this is that local council are standing up to take notice. So we might just see a few more of these in the future.
They won't let me turn the siren on, and there's no fireman's pole for me to slide down, but Fire Rescue New South Wales headquarters is still a pretty special place. Now, Andrew, I thought I was coming to the fire brigade today, but this doesn't look like a fire station.
Angela, this is Fire and Rescue New South Wales headquarters. So this is our main administrative building. This is where the Commissioner works from, and all our administrative teams, including our people and culture, IT, finance, etc. It can accommodate up to 300 people. It was built on the principles of activity-based working. If you're working on a project, for instance, you work in a more collaborative environment. If you're working on something that requires concentration and what have you, we've got particular type of arrangements that suit that.
Fire and Rescue traditionally were out in Sydney CBD, where they had their main administration base. However, their logistics base is based out here in Sydney's southwest. So we've brought them together on this site, which is essentially the Fire and Rescue New South Wales hub now. The administration base needs a little bit of quiet for its workers, and because the ground of this facility is mostly logistics with fire engines roaming around, it's important for us to elevate the workspace off the ground floor. This space is also used for ceremonial procedures where we have fireys retiring. We have uniformed officers who line these stairs and salute them farewell with their families.
That must be quite an emotional thing to see.
It sure is.
So the workplace is about more than just desks, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. This is the main feature of our design. It's underneath the grand void and it's also another collaboration space.
It doesn't feel very officey.
No, that's very deliberate. The whole colour scheme is based about the greenery down here. I think there's 15 shades of green in the carpet. We like it vibrant and dynamic, and it hides a lot of sins in terms of dirt, but it's a really beautiful, attractive pattern.
I expected the whole place to be red, like the fire engines.
Their red in their branding is very vibrant, but it's also can be quite a stressful colour and a little bit aggressive. So we wanted to steer right away from that. There's enough red on the fire trucks.
And this is not just about eating lunch, is it? Because you've got PowerPoints down there.
No, exactly. Again, everything's very flexible. We've got power which services each work point, so they can come and pull up a laptop, do some work here. We also have a raised floor which allows us flexibility in the design. It's only about 200 mils high, but allows us to lay a whole lot of cables through the floor, and all of these work points can move at any time.
How did you approach this project? Where did you start?
Funnily enough, we started from the inside out on this building. It was important for us to look at the structural grid of this building in order to optimise the space between the workstations. We have different types of work points here as well. We have snowflakes to the left here and dedicated lineal workstations to the right. It optimises the space that we can utilise and also provide them with some functional storage as well.
So a lot goes into designing for open plan. It's not just about throwing a bunch of desks into a floor plate?
Absolutely not. It's a very heavily coordinated facility. It was really important that we achieved the vision that Fire and Rescue had, but also to be able to accommodate the main function and practicality of the space as well.
I think what's really nice too is that it still feels really fresh, even though they've been here for a little while, because nobody owns any of the desks.
That's right. They've really embraced the way of working. It always looks fresh and vibrant, and the hive of activity in here is really exhilarating.
This interior works so well because GSA have started with the most important component, the people. By focusing on what people need to be happy at work and giving them plenty of choice, they've managed to create a truly diverse, healthy and collaborative environment.